The First Minister says he doesn't regret voting for gender recognition reforms. It comes as Scottish Labour leader Anas Sarwar has U-turned on his support for the legislation. Mr Sarwar also expressed support for nurse Sandy Peggy, who's at the centre of an industrial tribunal with NHS Fife after she objected to sharing the women's changing room with a transgender doctor. Our political editor Colin Mackay is in Parliament. Colin, what's the latest?
Well, gender recognition reforms were passed here at Holyrood in 2022, but they never actually became law because they were blocked by the then UK Conservative government. Now, that means the current legislation applying to this is the UK Equality Act of 2010. Now, that recognises single-sex spaces based on biological sex. But the questions now are based on that industrial tribunal involving nurse Sandy Peggy, transgender Dr Beth Upton and NHS Fife. Today, Scottish Labour leader Anas Sarwar, who had previously backed the gender recognition reforms, changed his mind.
What's happening right now, I think, is a level of organisational capture where people are going beyond the law when they should be following the law and respecting the Equality Act and protecting single-sex spaces based on biological sex. And this is a mess entirely of the SNP government's making. They have to step in and clear this up.
Yesterday, the Scottish Conservatives brought this up, accusing the government of cowardice for not making a parliamentary statement. Today, Health Secretary Neil Gray faced further questions, including from his own backbenches.
I have already written to him on the serious matters arising in the Sandy Peggy case, and I await his detailed response.
When the Cabinet Secretary is meeting Fife Health and Social Care Partnership, will he be asking them to assure him that they are complying with the law in relation to the provision of single-sex facilities for their female members of staff?
Cabinet Secretary. I obviously expect all public bodies to comply with the law to ensure that the rights of all their staff members are being complied with.
When will the Scottish Government bring forward a full debate on the issue of the provision of safe spaces for women, especially those who require to disrobe in connection with their work, such as health employees?
Cabinet Secretary. I've already set out that I expect all public bodies, including health boards, to comply with legislation and the guidance that's in place.
Now, the Industrial Tribunal is not due to resume until July. The First Minister has made it absolutely clear that he's not going to allow any statements from the government on this until the legal proceedings have actually concluded. But there is increasing pressure on the Scottish Government to, at the very least, update guidance on single-sex spaces. But I think they'll wait until they get the outcome of that tribunal, until another result is due from the Supreme Court.